Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellency, First Lady Adama Barrow, and Madam Adama Barrow, former Vice Presidents present, my Lord, the Chief Justice, and youth and Carnegie municipalities, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Gambia clocks 55 years today as an independent sovereign state responsible for managing its affairs without any external interference. Celebrating the anniversary of this historic event should trigger thoughts to guide us, redefine our individual roles as citizens of this nation in order to situate and reposition our motherland better on the global stage. As this is our national day, it is a moment to unite and deliberate on national issues and not on partisan and conflicts interests. As true sons and daughters of the Gambia, this is a moment to reflect on the implications of independence. Not only political independence, but also social and economic independence. Having emerged from decades of underdevelopment, slow progress, retarded growth and dictatorship, the time has come for us to reflect objectively and selflessly on what needs to be done differently for better results. But we should ask ourselves, what does putting the national interest first really imply? As we mark the last independence anniversary of this decade, the opportunity has come for us to turn new leaf by beginning the next decade much better. We renewed patriotic zeal in the Third Republic. As we prepare for the next series of national elections, now is the time to demonstrate that what independence means to us. Let us demonstrate that we are capable of managing our affairs by accommodating our differences, celebrating our successes, providing feedback with discipline, and expressing our opinions with respect and dignity. Ladies and gentlemen, this day is important because it also reminds us of our pledge in the national anthem and underscores the need to live in unity, freedom, and peace each day. Therefore, we must be aware of all divisive speeches, actions, sentiments, and concepts that may lead to social divisions in our communities. While ethnicity contributes significantly to our richly blended culture and stands out as a diverse source of strength, if weaponized for selfish reasons, ethnicity has devastating consequences. It has plunged many nations into protracted unrest, destruction, and great instability. Party politics, which is often at the root of most deadly ethnic clashes, must not be based on ethnicity. Instead, politics should be driven by a sound vision, appropriate programs, and delegated service in the best interest of one's nation. The electorate should affiliate with the party that represents the national interest and ensure that we continue to live in peace and harmony in a cohesive democratic society where our collective development aspirations can be fulfilled. Our national anthem has some of the message perfectly for us. It brings out attention to doing the right thing and emphasis, I quote, "Let justice guide our actions towards the common good and join our diverse people to prove man's brotherhood." Ethnic rivalry is dreadful. Accordingly, I urge all of us to renew our commitment and pledge our firm allegiance to the nation, because the Gambia belongs to all of us. Politics is not about the language we speak or the ethnic group we identified with. It is about the nation and its development and future. We all have the moral and civic obligation of safeguarding the future of this country. And remember, in the process, that history will judge us sooner or later. This should compel us to maintain peace and stability by respecting the rule of law and allowing justice to take its course. Today, we can all look back and, with relief, celebrate and embrace democracy, good governance, and the rule of law. This is highlighted by the political excitement that has gripped the nation, resulting in a series of useful dialogue, across party discussion, and bipartisan solidarity and collaboration. The nationwide consultations on crucial national structures, policies, and instruments continue to open new avenues and widen the options for choice, diversity, and scope. This is unprecedented in the Gambia. Never have Gambians been given the space to participate so genuinely and passionately as witnessed recently on the draft constitution, the commissions, the presidency, the economy, and various other aspects of governance. Never has the legislature been as independent, as open, as free, as lively as it is today. This is progress, and it is political development. As free citizens in an independent state, information is accessed readily on radio, television, and other media outlets without censor. Indeed, Gambians are truly enjoying political independence. Socially, cultural freedom continues to enable us to showcase our diversity and tolerance for one another. These are aspects of my government's achievements, which we have registered collectively with all Gambians. Government will continue to ensure that such freedoms are guaranteed and sustained. Economic freedom is ideal, but we live in an interdependent world where nations and organizations must depend on one another. This is the essence of diplomacy and international relations. However, it is incumbent upon us to exploit our talents and abilities, to be innovative and productive, and to initiate or contribute to value addition processes. It is up to us to examine our circumstances, expose our shortcomings and challenges with a view to resolving them. The responsibility is collective for us to create jobs, create opportunities, create income for economic development, and generate capacity to develop holistically. The key challenges that continue to affect this nation can be solved only if we reconcile our differences, maintain peace and stability, law and order, progress and development. Fundamentally, we must avoid acting against national interests. As Gambians, every one of us has citizenship rights. With consistency, I assure you all of my resolve to perform my functions to the fullest. As President, I have legal authority to act justly as a leader. I owe it to the people to keep the nation together and safe. And as a parent, I have the moral duty to preserve the nation for the younger generation and those on board, whose rights we must recognize now. Our oath of office binds us to God and the Constitution. And our mandates and rules of engagement bind us ethically and professionally to the people and the state. This applies to all public officials and across all state institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the major stumbling block to development is the bulk and mix of resources at our disposal. The option to address the inadequacies centered on innovation, industry productivity, and partnering with others internally and externally. We must all strive to fend ourselves, feed ourselves, and muster courage to entrench independence and cooperation in our subcultures, whether at home, in the community, or in our institutions. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, lessons learned from the Meet the People talk have strengthened me to strive harder to accelerate the pace of our development. However, every one of us has a stake, a role and the responsibility to act as constructive agent of change and development. We have to utilize our abilities and potential constructively, apply ourselves to the task of nation building, and avoid indifference and dependence. Up to 2021, my government will continue to implement the National Development Plan vigorously. We will introduce new projects and attend to the people's needs. Roads, energy, water, sanitation, infrastructure and technology for production will attract top priority. Employment, youth, gender issues will be closely linked to such priorities. In all of this, the private sector and non-state actors operatives have an equal or complementary role to play. This year marks the forerunner of the 2021 presidential elections. While gearing up for this, it is most necessary that we exercise restraint, remain disciplined and maintain peace. Let us not plunge the nation into chaos and disorder. We must remember that what we have gone through. Therefore, we stay fast in upholding the values and practices that encourage positive thought and action. The surest way to success is unity. Resisting the temptation to ignore our noble values and wording of agitation, no matter where it comes from. We should also be firm and resolute whenever we take a decision on something, but should be prepared to shift our positions whenever there are better alternatives. I urge you, the school children and students, to focus on your schooling, education and skills, unlock the doors to development and good citizenship. Work hard today and reap the benefits tomorrow. Do not allow yourselves to be distracted. Instead, strive hard for your future well-being. Remember that children are more vulnerable to different forms of violence. They are trafficked, abused, and even used as child soldiers to fight and kill in an unjust civil wars or serve as suicide bombers. Do not allow anyone to use you for such deadly, cowardly, and evil acts. I commend all parents and teachers for guiding and taking care of the children. Government appreciates your efforts, and we will continue to invest in education to ensure that the youth realize their full potential to serve their families, nation, and themselves when they grow up. Teachers have an honorable job to do. Thus, they should work honorably and effectively, and maximize the time they spend on tasks. Finance is not the only motivation in this noble job. Teachers have the responsibility of preparing a whole generation of learners who look up to them for values of integrity, discipline, trustworthiness, and patriotism. Children learn to respect rules and regulations at school. Hence, teachers have the burden of doing the right thing for the children to emulate early in their lives. While we appreciate the efforts of the education ministries, we encourage them to support both the teaching and administrative staff in the system for better performance. Ladies and gentlemen, turning to the security services, I thank and commend them as the pride of the nation for their impressive outfit and remarkable performance. We salute them for their impeccable parades, commendable peacekeeping missions, humble and generous community services, as well as their acute alertness and sacrifice to keep the peace. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to all those present, I express deep gratitude for the turnout and for making the occasion so colorful. I am thankful also to the entire nation for keeping the peace and their cooperation with my government. We are grateful too to the international community for their support, financially, technically, and morally. The list includes all friendly nations, partners, and organizations that continue to supplement or complement our development efforts. I wish you all a very joyful 55th Independent Anniversary celebration. God bless us all, and long live the Gambian nation. I thank you.
That is His Excellency President Adama Barrow. Thank you very much for that inspiring and motivating statement. Respect and dignity. Avoid divisive speeches. Ethnicity, we are all together. Gambians, let us not allow politics to divide us. Let justice take its course. We all belong to the Gambia. Thank you, Mr. Mendy and Co. There is a good advice that we can start development now to have a better future.
Assalamualaikum ya boy. Noo tudda?
Man ne Awa Jammeh laa tudda.
Foo jógee fii?
maa ngi Banjul laa jógee Gloucester.
Tey as we celebrate a 55th independence, loo nekk di yëg tey
happiness rek happiness ñun la jàppale Adama Barrow Benno jàppale Adama Barrow ñoo ñëw màcc def si suñ cosaan mu rafet ba bugg a dee neex ba bugg a dee waa Banjul génn si macha allah yal na yàlla laf cat indi xiwal gu bari ñu ñëpp ñu bokk ko ñu ngi ñaanal Adama Barrow yal na ko yàlla def mu gën a toog fii ndax di sa doyuñu macha allah.
jërëjëf def jama rek yaa ngi okay sant yàlla as we yaay boobu la ah kañ doo nekk di yegte as we celebrate a 50 years xanaa kontaan rek di kontaan si loo xam ne moo ñu mag di independent waaye nag di gërëm Adama Barrow mi ñun waa Banjul dañu war a génn li def ñu defaral Banjul ñu kontaan si Banjul di ko wonale ne ko 15 years ñoo moom kontaan nañ tey independent gi moom ila daw mena ay def yaa
excited, and I'm really happy today that the statement that the president did was very, very touching, and he spoke about unification, and that was a particular statement he did, that if your position does not align with the majority, we should shift. Loolu mean rek mooy ne léegi yow nga gis dara foog ne mooy right waaye the majority foog ne da nga ko war a change nga change ko loolu important na. They want to about unification. One number about, yes, we can have political differences, but we should not use tribal issues to differentiate among us Gambians. So message it was very, very good.
So since the establishment of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission, a lot of changes has been made in the Gambia so far, from the security level to the other. What are your comments towards that?
I think democracy is a process. You don't get up one day and want to be a perfect democracy. And we learn from our mistakes. And when we make mistakes, we should learn to be able to adjust from those mistakes. He's mentioned about the judiciary being independent. Bobu dañ ko maintain. The security sector, we still need to reform a little bit more because there's still a lot of problems that I see is there. But it's a process, and he mentioned that everybody has a stake in the development of the nation. The president has a stake, the government has a stake, and us as political leaders, we also have a stake in making sure that we hold government accountable. If there's a problem or government does something wrong, we have to come out and tell the government that, listen, this is how it should be done. Okay? Because Gambia, at the end of the day, all the political parties will have the same objective, which is to develop the Gambia.
Honorable, since the approval of the new constitution and before it was amended, a lot of noise has been made. So far so good. What is your take on that?
I think, for me, if the reform agenda even stops at the reform of the constitution, I'm happy. Because as political leaders, there are certain things that we were looking for. And for me, I was looking for the second time voting. I was looking for the diaspora being able to vote. I was looking for the time limits. Those are things that will sustain and maintain our democracy. Then we will not have a leader that will be here forever. No matter how good you are, even if you pave the whole streets with gold, after 2 times you're gone. Because leadership is generational. Your generation, you're going to lead. So those things to me are the key important reform agenda that I'm happy that is going on.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you. All right.
Fine.
What's your name?
My name is Rohi Chati.
As we celebrate another 55th year anniversary as we gain our independence, what are you feeling today?
Wow, maa ngi sant Yàlla di julli si yonente gi suñu sang bu teeda bi di sant suma ñaari waajur yi. Independent lii lañ ko xamee parce que dañu demoon si dëkk bi 22 years suñu independent bi dafa yaaxu dafa noonu président Adama Barrow ak cabinet members ñoo indi independence bi back to independence comme Jawara nu mu ko daan defee loolu la Adama Barrow dee def independence bi kon maa ngi ñaan Yàlla ñu célébrer ko si at yi bëri maa ngi wax benn Gambien si ne génnee politique ak fitna si réew mi ne indi jaama indi peaceful suñ indee jaama si réew mi dina dem kanam waaye kii mu ngi defar kii mu ngi yaaxar réew bi du mun a dem si kanam kon ne indi jaama si réew mi ñun ñoo ko bokk su politique jotee ñu def politique su politique passé ñu liggéey réew mi mun a dem si kanam loolu laa am pour wàll.
jërëjëf
yàlla mi lan suwara di néew la keba di fa nga doog rajo kam almamba
that bi molien kana independent mo celebrate ya sign be mun feel kan
binde be min fi fo kontano don ni sewo kadu ni banko ni kayro na taje inyanta kayro tala Adama Barrow mbaten dam mbaye mbede jandol fon fon ngi programme kambe le banko kayre banko len alman nar shimala ma bani jar kenda banko len nyarata alma continue la alma kayro sebel banko kan kon dan barden bimbe yambi akam le mular yana alma kayro sebel banko kilano ro sam de mala so hormo ambat wa hormo salam gat la baraka
Baraka Daddy.
ni baraka.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
I am Pa Ibundao.
Okay, Ms. Nda, as we celebrate 55th year independence, what are your feelings right now?
I'm very happy. I'm excited. I'm very happy, to be frank enough.
As since Adama Barrow was elected to office, we have seen the changes, a lot of changes, the Truth Reconciliation Commission and the amendment of the new constitution.
And the TRRC also. Yeah, we have seen everything. The president always advocates for peace and stability and freedom of speech. And we should thank God that now we have gone so far.
So, as we know, a lot of development has been, a lot of talk has been going on, and yet still development is still coming. So what do you think more work needs to be done? What do you think on what part of
Yeah, we have seen that. We have seen the Banjul project and other projects. On the 29th, we are going to inaugurate the college at Basse and the roads. We have seen in that side. I would say that the youth, we need the youth of the Gambia to be concentrated on skill work. That is very important, because if you see most of these works that have been done in this country are done by foreigners, and now we should come to a level that we should advise our children to stop studying law, accountant, and all this kind of thing. They should be engaged more in these skills centers and then skill trainings than that. That is one of my thoughts. That is what I really want to see in the Gambia.
So what do you think, like, when it comes to the youth aspect, what do you think, like, we should be done? Because we can see, like, the returnees from the back way, and a lot of youth have been saying that, like, the small entrepreneurs need to be set for them to engage with them, not to go.
But we have seen improvement. We have seen the one that Mohammed Jah have organized, that some people have won some prizes and all those kind of things. About the backway issue, it's just a mentality that this youth they have. Because last week somebody called me from Yuna that I should help her daughter with visa. I asked him why. He said her daughter tried to go for this backway 2 times and then he stopped him. I tell him that you should advise your daughter, because we have been seeing what is going on, especially in Italy. We have 48,000 Gambians in Italy, and 12,000 Gambians are documented. 38,000 Gambians are in Italy that are not documented, and they are suffering there. It's very hard to say, because the youth, they think that, okay, they must go to Europe. But my sister, I'm telling you that what is in Europe is not an easy thing.
Thank you, Ms. Nda. We wish you a happy
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.